No further ado, let's take out the Tier 10 Midway using the HVAR rockets instead of the Tiny Tims, and we shall see the difference in the damage. So, the Tiny Tims has less of them, but they're more effective. They are for light cruisers, they are for destroyers, but the Tiny Tims are harder to hit, but they hit hard. That's really the biggest difference. I have preferred to use the HVARs against DDs because you get more impact hits, you do tend to get more fires with them, and because of the smaller dispersion field, more of them make contacts. It's a bit of a trade-off really. I think depending on the makeup of the divisions, if you're in divisions, will probably make more difference, but as everything, you just don't know what you're going to play against. Are you going to play against other rockets, other CVs? Are there going to be lots of DDs, lots of cruisers, lots of light cruisers, because they work very well against them. So I think our makeup is going to be predominantly, we do have a Kitikaze who's real, and a Henry, and a Hakuryu as well. The Midway wasn't as balanced against the Hakuryu, but I would say it's a lot more balanced now than it was, which is quite handy. So we're going to have a look at that. We're going to swing the old Midway around in a few circles. This is something I've been tending to favour on PTS. Just have the server CV driving around in circles. Then you don't have to worry about reinforcing these sectors too much until later in the game. If the CV wants to waste his time coming for a drop now, all he's doing is wasting his aircraft. So we are going to start with our HVAR rocket planes. HE rockets on board. Detectability is 9 kilometers. Flight prep time is reasonable. So as we can see down here, we've only got 9 available on deck, and they're going to take a minute to get back. Excuse me while I clear my throat.
All stations retreat. All stations retreat.
Now a big one here I'm going to show you on the screen is if I press S, see that green bar comes up here? That's boost being used. And if I increase with W, that also consumes that it is effectively like a consumables per se, and it fills up when you're not using it. So what I don't want to be doing too much is flying at everything at full speed like this to get there as quick as possible, because then I can't get out of a bomb run at the end. So you do want to use it like now to slow down, but these are going to pick up speed on the way into the Yugamo. While that's recharging, we're going to drop that off, and then we're going to stick the power down and get out. Now it's tempting to look backwards, but what I'm looking for while I'm flying away is all these black clouds around me, because that is flak, and if you fly your aircraft through them, you'll take a lot of damage. You see the amount of damage that DD took from my early run, that was nearly 7k. So if I just pull out here and I fly through this flak cloud in front of me, I'm going to go deliberately through the flak, and you'll see the damage to the aircraft, see? So this is the part that we're looking to avoid, to get out of the flak. When they're talking about manoeuvrability, these are the bits you have to avoid, because when you go through a flak cloud, damage is done, and that can be done by using the boost, manoeuvring around, bit of left and right, cutting out the power, improving the power. But as we went through there, see those 2 flak clouds, that was the end of that squadron. But not a bad start. 8k for our first round. Are we fully rearmed yet? No, we're not yet. Now we're going to have a look at the torpedo bombers, TBs. Drop them off. You'll notice I haven't actually deployed any of my fighters yet. But what I want to do there is I want to hold them until later game. They do have purposes. Just choosing when to use them is probably needs a bit more thought, a little bit more caution, because throwing them around willy-nilly early will cost you later on in the game. And again, I'm talking about if I want to get to this run quick, I hold down the W key, you see this bar starting to go down, I let go of it, and my engine speed will normalise. The reason you want to keep as much of that in reserve as possible is so when you get off of your bombing run, or you get onto the bombing run, like now, I don't want to change course much. Just run this down, drop them off, and then turn hard away. Now I'm going to boost to try and get away from the flak. Keep an eye on these flak clouds that are forming in front of me. Try not to go through too many, or all of them in that case. A little gap there, we'll try and get through. And, oh, we're going to take some there, aren't we? And we've got out, okay. We got the squadron in, we can heal. And then we can bring these planes round and we can go around and have another go again now. So let's have a look. Let's go for the Alsace. I'd like the engine boost to come back. I can use my consumable here to get away with it if I want to. But we know we're under AA fire now, so we are going to take some damage on the way in. The question is how much. We've lost a few planes on the way in. Notice they change out there. Drop that, and I'm going to put the boost in. Just to try and boost away from all the flat clouds. Full speed out, hard to the left. You can see the gunfire going past me, so it's giving me a rough indication of where things are going to explode. So you just need to be a little bit more mindful of your surroundings. And with only one TB left, at this point I'm going to press F, send him back to the CV, so my rearm time won't be as long. But as we're here to focus on the rockets, let's focus on the rockets. We're going to head our way over here now.
Airborne.
Head back in with the rockets. There's a fighter squadron that's been tied up there. I'll tell you what we haven't seen yet, interestingly, is that Kitty Kazi. There he is. Because I was wondering if he might have been trying to take a run at me. I'm going to try and take a run at him now. I know where he was seen last. I'm risking... Oh no, we're not going to pull out of this because of those fighters there now. Don't want to be driving through that. So the CV's protected him by dropping his fighters over these DD. And I'm now forced to try and avoid all this flak, and with a big squadron, they're not as manoeuvrable as you'd like them to be. So I'm constantly working the throttles, trying to work a better angle for something and get out of the flak. But there he is there, so we are going to try 4 kilometres there, so we're going to be in the mid-range of the Lion, try and avoid some of the flak, as he says he drives through it all, get over the top of these mountains, and we're going to try and run down that Kitty Kazi now. She's a big boat, so she's a little bit easier to hit. You can see the flak coming off, so our AA is running. We've avoided the first run down. This could be problematic. I'm having to adjust on the way in, which means going through that flat cloud. But we've got a good hit. We have a good hit on her there. The AA is still firing, which in this case is doing me a favour because it means her surface detection is allowing me to keep her spotted, so I can come in and try and have another go. But that's a lot of AA. That's a hell of a lot of AA. And that all came from the Kitty Kazi because there's nothing else knocking around. More rockets work well. We haven't taken the dive bombers out. I wasn't too bothered about those in this video because I wanted to concentrate predominantly on the rockets to show, and we'll look at them at the end. But as that Lion is isolated, we'll go and have a little nose, see if we can get some change out of him. Now I am going to drop a set of fighters off by my Zao. I've just noticed the CV ones there, they've just disengaged and gone back, so torpedoes in the water there. They're not spotted by me, which is worth noting. They're always going to be spotted by surface ships now. Planes cannot spot torpedoes anymore. So screaming in chat for stop won't help. I'm going to protect the Zao. I'm going to drop a fighter squadron off there for him. I'm sure he'll thank me later. Then we're going to avoid them rockets.
Fighter airborne.
Move towards the rear of the line if there's anything left of him to hit. Because these are HE bombers, not AP bombers now. We're going to line up. We may have gone a little bit too soon now. Oh, in fact, we've definitely gone too soon. She's blown up. So, as we are aware, the Iowa, she has pretty substantial AA. We'll have a go over there. We could go for the Hakuryu, but I don't want to just bomb the CVs because they're not going to learn anything.
Taking fire.
I need to get off my boost now, so that recovers. Wow, look at that Kitty Kazi's AA. It's unreal. Right, I'm going to boost this. Let's try and get in on this Iowa while we've still got some planes in the sky. This isn't an ideal angle. You shouldn't really come all the way around the back. We're going to miss. Oh, we've got fire on the rear. which isn't the end of the world. But what we should have done was we should have gone around there and attacked from the back, because we drove through all that flak, which is a bit daft. That's not a particularly good thing to do. Something's going on there with our Zhao friend, I'm not sure what, but we're going to take the rockets up again and see if we can find ourselves some soft targets. I did see the Henry in there, he would be worth an attempt. See what we can do to a heavy cruiser. No sign of her just yet, but I can't see her, so she can't see me because I'm using these islands as cover.
Taking fire. Engaging enemy.
So she's parked up. We've come in over the islands. Put the power down.
We're under attack. Returning to
3,500. That's all right. It's not bad. But with the cruisers, you kind of want to get in on the side because you want to go for the superstructure. So again, we're manoeuvring, trying to manoeuvre through the flak. Changing the course and speed all the time to avoid it. And that Buffalo's got some pretty mental AA as well. But we are going to go straight for the Henry again. Use all this boost because we're not going to get this squadron back. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a good idea to just keep throwing the planes away because they take a while to recharge. But for the sake of seeing what we can do in terms of damage,
We're under attack.
it's worth an effort. So that's more rockets. Let's get the torpedoes off the deck. These are the same ones in the other video as well, so they all work out reasonably well.
Airborne.
The autopilot again is also working now, so we can do that.
Mode enabled.
And she'll match whatever speed. I think if I don't set her speed manually on board, she'll go at full speed, but we'll find that out in a minute. But dodging flak, keeping the planes healthy and alive, moderating your speed, managing your boost, planning your attack runs. These are all very, very important things to be doing now. I'm going to slow, all I've done is just come off the keyboard and you see this speed just reaches just general cruising speed, which I'm not sure, does it say on here? No, it doesn't say what cruising speed is. But I'm building back up again, as you can see. I'm building that boost up so I can get down on this run.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire.
Now the decision is what we're going for here, and I think we're going for the Buffalo. So now we've got a nice tight reticle. We're going to put the power down, drop them early, turn hard out to the left. Now this is going to be a problem because most people are going to do what I'm doing here, spin the camera to have a look what's happening with your torpedoes. But what you should be doing is avoiding all these flak clouds to keep the planes healthy enough to have another go. So we have actually done okay there, to be honest. We have managed to escape them. There's more flak coming in, but we are going to have another go at the Buffalo. I'm having a turn to correct. I've still got the hill available. I'm not going to use that on this run because that could come in more useful later on. Because he's turning away, I'm just going to lead a little bit more. And we're going to turn, send the power out. And we did get another flood on the Henry, so that's probably going to be a permanent flood. Yeah, she's flooding. We've got one left, but 130 hit points, we're not going to get that through. So I'm going to send that back to the CV, so it will start regenerating. That one will fly back, if it makes it, and regenerate on the deck. And that's one less we have to wait for to regenerate. We'll take the rockets again. And then we'll go and see if we can add to the Buffalo's woes. Shifting has to be a bit more thought out. The AA is much better. That's the first time I've seen a Kitty Kazi yet, and she was a bit savage, to be quite honest. I've not seen AA that strong in a DD. See, I was boosting there, and I hold it in, I get this warning here that we're over boost effectively. Or overheating the engine, because this is what this does, it cools the engine. I'm not sure why that you need to use that to slow the planes down like that, you see. As soon as I let go, they'll bring back up to cruising speed of 176 knots. The slowing's useful though to get your bombing run lined up properly. Now we may find here that the Henry is running a reinforced sector. I haven't seen that yet. In this game anyway. Yeah, see all that flak there? That's a lot of flak we're going to have to go through now to get out of here. Slowing the plane, slowing the plane. Now, I'm assuming flak will work the same way. If I get over this island here... That's unfortunate. His AA guns can't hit me through a mountain either. And I can't see him either. So that was, I think, was his reinforced sector.
Engaging enemy.
No, this is his reinforced. See all the red tracers? That's his reinforced sector. So he may have switched that over as I passed over the top of him. That's quite possible. But he's hanging in there. And we're going to bring some torpedo bombers in now, see if we can do anything else with that. That'll probably involve doing it at pace again. Get round the back. So what have we got? We got 14 torpedo hits so far. Now that Alsace is running. I don't know what the Henry's doing. If he's still sitting in there. Kitty Kazi's still alive. I'm sure he's in that Bravo cap. Now we could take the rockets in there and go and find him. But right now I want to see what I can do. If the Henry's actually started moving or not. If she hasn't, we're going to go and drop her. And we're going to do that at full boost. Aircraft carriers detected. Too worried.
Waypoint reached.
Because if the Henry, there's the Henry. She's coming around the corner there. This could be interesting.
Taking fire.
We'll let the reticle tighten up. Right, let's try something else here. Drop them early. Run the engine boost to turn away. She's probably going to try now. You'd imagine, is to try and go in a straight line between them rockets. And what I want to do is slow down. Oh, we did get one on the nose. Yeah, because they are a little bit quicker. Wasn't very. What I was trying to do was try and get the cross drop effectively, which isn't what we was able to do. But we have a lovely, lovely tight group here. We'll drop them right on top of that.
Returning to ship. Taking fire.
No chance of her taking those. There's also no chance in me turning the planes around in time to get back on another run. Oh, she swallowed another one. And they're a gunner. So the CV's stopped. We're going to need that to try and
Autopilot mode enabled.
turn around. We're the only thing left. So we're going to take off some more rockets again. Go and see if we can find either the Kitty Kazi or the Henry.
Maintaining present course.
Probably the Kitty Kazi. Pull some defensive fighters there. So that should stop the spotting on the CV for a minute. Give us a chance to try and find the Kitty.
Waypoint reached.
So we know if we go behind that mountain, right, we can't see the Henry. Henry can't see us, but we are still spies. So we know the Kitty Kazi's around here somewhere.
We're under attack.
There he is.
Engaging enemy. We're under attack. Returning to
Ooh, that's a
ship.
big 8k volley. Right, we're going to try and keep these alive for a minute, so I'm going to power hard away. Get way out of AA range. He's gone for smoke, not a surprise. We've just taken a torpedo, I'm going to guess. So we can't strike the Kitty Kazi now because he's gone for smoke. We'll try and find a gap through this flak so we can try to get to the Henry. We'll be lucky to get this away.
Problem solved, sir. To ship.
Ship's on fire, I can't do anything about that. I can, however, get some torpedo bombers up. Because we've been hunted down now by not one but two real players. We've got a fighter squad just off of us there, slight overlap in fire, so there's a good chance they're going to
Ship is on fire.
fight with each other for a bit. But if the CV goes down, the game's going to end. And then we'll look at the differences, what we did with the HVAR rockets,
Approaching target.
as opposed to the Tiny Tims. It's a kind of all or nothing drop now.
Taking fire.
Looks like the CV is going to burn down, which is a pain, because that means the game's going to immediately end. But we got 130k, so it's still roughly in the ballpark around what we'll be doing, 130 to 180,000. But the big one we're interested in is the damage against the rockets. So bombs 1, they were a bit meh, although they did start the fire on the Iowa, so we probably need to discount that. Torpedoes, we did 60,000. Rockets, 42,900 from 91 rockets. And what was the cost to us in aircraft? 108 aircraft, so we lost a number of aircraft in that game. But it was tier 9-10, which is a pretty good test. Not much in the way of fires, so the rockets, they did start, but they were being put out quite quickly. And floodings, not as much there either. And who took the flooding damage? The Alsace, maybe? He took some. Kitty Kazi, we did alright there. So we did 21 rockets for 13,000 damage, but we lost a lot of aeroplanes to him in the process. And that's just plain combat between the two. So that was the tier 10 Midway with the HVAR rockets instead of the Tiny Tims on board.